Happy Saturday. What would you do today if you knew you wouldn't fail? It's an old kind of become almost corny adage that you do before you start doing a goal setting exercise, but it still has a ton of value. You know, we get wrapped up so much in the how are we going to get things done? We don't ask ourselves the why. And it's a great way to expand your mind. If you knew you weren't going to fail, what would you do today? What would you try? What would you set out to accomplish? What business would you start? What book would you write? What trip would you take? Who would you spend time with? You know, it's a great way to kind of start your Saturday in terms of expanding your thinking. As you take this day, if you're still going to be working, that's awesome. If you're going to be doing your errands and, gathering food, maybe it's grocery day, maybe it's laundry day, maybe it's clean the house day. It's a great time to start asking yourself that question. What would you do if you knew you wouldn't fail? And make believe you're a kid. You know, a great way to start thinking about goals is to start thinking like a kid. When kids hit Christmas, they don't have limitations. And, remember, youthfulness is really about creativity and openness. I mean, when somebody stays young, it isn't necessarily how they look. To an extent it can be, but really it's about openness, playfulness, desire for new things, to look at new things, to be creative, to be inquisitive, to be playful. That's youthful. When somebody keeps those qualities, then we call them youthful. When somebody loses those qualities, then we say that they're getting old. We don't really care what they look like, and we certainly don't really care what their age is. So when kids are getting ready for Christmas, they don't have limitations. I want a pool, I want 2 pools. That's how kids think. Because they don't think about the how, they think about the why. So as you're starting today, and you're going to go do whatever you're going to do today on your Saturday routine, ask yourself, if you knew you couldn't fail, if you knew it wasn't going to go badly, what would you set out to do? Who would you set out to be? What would you set out to accomplish? What business would you start? Who would you go meet? What trip would you take? What is it that you would go do? And then write those down. Take the time to write down those ideas and then start thinking about, why is it that you wrote those down? Why is it that you want those? And maybe use that as inspiration as to where you head. Today's the first day of the rest of your life. And, I lost 2 friends this past week, which always kind of keeps things in perspective. I'm holding my arm like this, by the way, because I injured myself 2 weeks ago. I pinched a nerve in my back, and I haven't slept for crap for 2 weeks. I finally slept a little bit last night. So when you see me, that's why I'm holding my arm like this. So that's what I'm going to do today. As I work today and get to go work out and go grab some corn and some fruit, I'm going to think to myself, if I knew I couldn't fail, what is it that I would do over the next couple of years? The opportunities in the world are going to be amazing. The money sloshing around in the world is even more than I think everybody expected. And the changes that are happening are exponential. When that type of upheaval happens, that means that there's opportunity everywhere for those that desire to take it. So ask yourself that question today. If you knew you wouldn't fail, what would you do over the next 10, 20 years? And then write it down, and then start asking yourself why, and write a paragraph, and then start thinking about, what would you get if you did all that? How would that make you feel? And then write that down. And see if you get inspired. And if you do, maybe you start working towards that end. But at least give yourself the idea and the moment of, where is it that you would like to head? Because today's a day to open think. Today's a day to be a playful kid. Today's a day to be inquisitive. Being youthful is about an attitude. It's about an approach. It's not necessarily about how you appear. And if you approach the world that way, you're going to appear a lot differently to everybody else and to yourself. Have a great day, everybody, and have fun. Make it fun. Thanks for watching. We're all in this together. Let's take care of each other.